Yet I see you taking the spot next to Jay.
Well, that's what you told me to sit.
Yes, it is.
All right. Would you like me to sit next to you? You should be the center. You're the leader.
No, I see. That's the thing. I don't want to lead the discussion. I just want to be part of it. Hi.
This is your
Hi. Welcome to On the Couch Dining Room Table Edition. I wanted to do In the Car, but Chris, down at the end, insisted on more comfort than in a car. And last but not least, we have Mike.
Hello.
So, guess what movie we saw? Oh, wait. You can see the video title.
Yes! Unless you can't read or don't speak English, in which case this next sentence isn't going to help.
What the hell are you doing to my channel? We saw Thor the Dark World, which is still in some theaters, like the super cheapo... What was that theater called?
Dollar Theater.
It's not a dollar anymore.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was $2.50.
You gotta keep up with the
$2.50. $2.50?
I need about it.
They need to update their title of Dollar Theater.
Anyway, okay, so who saw the first Thor? Show of hands. Chris saw it. Okay,
Twice.
So Mike, okay, but we've all seen the Avengers, of course, because we are nerds.
I think everyone saw the Avengers.
It was a pretty
It
big
would be
film.
hard.
Yeah.
I would be hard pressed to find somebody who did not see the Avengers. Probably someone over the age of 60. So, yeah, I thought it was a good movie.
Extremely. It's one of the rare occurrences where it was better than its predecessor.
Yeah, the first Thor was okay. I didn't like the 3D work though.
It'll be interesting to see if the third Thor is better or worse, how they go.
And then there's
Because
that.
a lot of times, you know, it's the first movie's good, the second one just kind of sucks, and the third is back to greatness.
Do we know if there's gonna be a third Thor?
I'm
Okay, the way
sure
they
there
set
will
up that
be.
after credits scene, like
I
Plutoburns
can't.
said,
I can't.
they're
I have
trying
a
to
name.
lead up
you
to.
Can, you can use my real name in these.
You don't like us to use your real name.
Not in my actual reviews. These are not my.
You know,
real
we should
reviews.
just-
Then his real name is Alex Vargas, ladies and gentlemen.
We should just start using Brandon also. That would really confuse people.
Oh God!
Yes, it really
yeah.
would.
You know what? We're not going to give you an explanation of that discrepancy. So just live with it.
Anyway, as Alex said during the after credits scene,
Which of course there was.
apparently building up to the Avengers 3.
But then
They
we
keep dropping.
But then
hints
we
and
knew that
shit.
was happening.
Yeah, we knew that was. Well, I mean, they're working on Avengers 2 right now, but no. I know for a fact that they've got the guy who's playing Captain America on for at least 4 more movies, like under contract.
Who plays him anyway? I can't remember his name. Chris Evans or something?
Chris Hemsworth?
No, Chris Hemsworth.
No, Chris
is Thor.
Hemsworth is Thor.
Chris Evans is Captain America.
Oh,
He's-
okay.
He's
Of course, the time I finally say I can't remember his name, I remember his name.
He's decided to leave acting though because he's tired of being typecast.
He wants
as
to be a
Captain-
director.
kind of like Brad Pitt with 12 Years a Slave.
Brad Pitt directed that?
What?
He was part of the.
I was gonna say I thought Brad Pitt directed World War Z.
Brad Pitt.
I
Brad
think he
Pitt-
produced it.
I think it was Steve McQueen.
Oh,
I think
pretty
who
well.
directed it, but Brad Pitt was part of
I'm proud of myself for
production.
Anyway, back on topic to the movie.
Thor,
instead of
the Dark
sidetracking.
World. So this one starts with Natalie Portman, who I still don't think is particularly good in any of these movies, which is why she wasn't in Avengers. She was just referenced to. But, yeah, okay, she's looking for Thor. He's been gone for 2 years. Oh, no, wait, we start with her on a really, really awkward date.
With the guy from IT Crowd.
Person.
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Because I've seen the IT Crowd.
Is that even a movie?
It's a TV show.
Oh, okay.
You should watch it.
You've suggested at least 3 TV shows to us in the course. Idris Elba is amazing. I didn't even know he was the gatekeeper.
Neither did
the
I.
first time I saw Thor.
I-
It wasn't until he took his helmet off in this movie that I'm like, oh my god, that's Idris Elba! I loved him in Pacific Rim, and I haven't seen him in anything else.
I'm
Then
sure
you need
you've
to-
seen him
then
in
I'm
other
gonna-
things. He's been in everything.
Another movie you should borrow from me, The Losers. It's another Marvel film. Not as well
Well,
acclaimed, but it's
Chris,
still pretty
what
good.
would I have seen him in, like,
me a minute.
recently? Like, a movie, other than Pacific
Give
Rim?
me a minute, because he's actually in a lot.
Time to bust out the phones.
Time to bust out
Let
the
us know in
laptop.
the comments section after the video is over if you think The Rock or Idris Elba should be the next Green Lantern.
The Rock is Hercules.
Prometheus,
The Rock is
The
gonna be-
Wire,
No, like, they already filmed it.
Takers.
Not the Hercules, not the next Green Lantern. Next
Yeah.
Green Lantern script isn't even written yet.
Yeah, because the last one sucked, and they're not going to introduce a new Green Lantern until the Justice League movie, and then if he test screens well in that movie, they might give him another movie.
Well, let's talk about
Thor.
the scenery of Thor. I felt like the it was the final act of Diablo 3 where you go to the high heavens, kind of merged with the Reapers from Mass Effect.
There was that really awesome
Which Mass
wide
All
angle
of them.
shot. There was that really cool wide angle shot when we first came into Asgard. Thank you.
Ghost Riders,
And
Takers, the
Was he
Losers,
Ghost Rider?
He was
the
in
Office,
Ghost Rider.
Obsessed.
Who was he in Ghost Rider?
The second Ghost Rider, sorry.
Wait,
No, okay.
The Spirit of Vengeance, he was.
wait, that was him in
Moreau.
Obsessed.
Moreau. I don't speak French.
Damn, Obsessed was a surprisingly good movie.
Prom Night, Rock and Roller.
What the hell was he
American
doing in
Gangster.
Prom Night?
He was
Should we-
in that.
Should we talk about Thor?
The
Yeah,
Reaping.
yeah,
28
Chris.
weeks.
So,
Okay, then we're done with that.
Asgard looked really awesome, much better than it did in the first movie. I think the first movie definitely suffered from the fact that it was a 3D conversion. And
God, I
it
hate
was-
those.
Oh yeah, they never come out well, but the fight scenes were pretty good too.
Oh yeah, with the rock giant.
That didn't last a second.
The rock giant, the big boss of the movie. Well, the mini boss of the movie who lasted all of 2 seconds.
The Rock Giant was just in the beginning.
Yeah.
I enjoyed.
I
all
accept
the,
your surrender.
Go ahead, man.
Dead.
I enjoyed all the space shots where we look into outer space and see all the stars and the cosmic dust.
The shiny things in the sky.
No, they're stars. We know what they are. They're not just shiny things. What are you, from the 1500s BC?
Or he could be from New York City.
I know, right? What was that you said that Earth in the Marvel universe is gonna get pretty tired of this shit?
And so at some point the Dark Elves, who are the big baddies of the Dark World, woo, Link, they land their last ship. It's their last ship right in the middle
Lands
of
in
Greenwich, England, and since all these movies are in continuity, and there was that one guy who's like, what do you mean we should get down? Thor's out there swinging his hammer around, just some random passerby. Everyone on Earth knows who Thor is, apparently. So yeah, these are all in continuity, which is what they've been shooting for, but at this point, they've just got to be tired of this shit.
I know, right?
Aliens again?
Well, you'd think there'd be some place for this giant convergence other than England. I mean,
Greenwich.
5,000 years ago, it was in that weird, desolate planet, and now 5,000 years later, it's on Earth. Why can't it be on the planet it was at 5,000 years ago?
Yeah.
Because there's nothing to be destroyed on that planet.
I think.
And apparently the forces of the universe need to be able to destroy shit.
I think if you're gonna have an epic saga of 20 movies, it would do well to start having some movies that focus on character development rather than always saving the world.
Yeah.
Because always saving the world seems like kind of a final battle at the end. Did it in Iron Man, did it in Hulk, did it in Avengers, did it in Thor twice, I guess. And,
Definitely twice, yeah.
And so it kind of you run out of villains, you run out of ways to get creative with the villains.
And
they
eventually you do cheap, and it's like, oh, the Earth is in danger of being destroyed again.
Well, they did try to pull the redeemed villain thing with Loki, but
Well,
all of us knew it wasn't going to
I
happen.
can't. I heard this movie's been out for a while, but I do remember hearing something that Loki was written to be in this sequel more than was originally planned because of how popular he was after the Avengers.
I think because everyone loves the actor.
Such a
He
great,
really has
such a
settled
great
into,
villain.
He really has settled into the role just really well. The repartee between him and Thor was really good. And I've never really been impressed by Chris Hemsworth acting, but then again, he's playing Thor, and Thor is a really one-note character. I am a god. I destroy things with giant hammer.
And sometimes lightning.
From the hammer. And he can only fly with the hammer. His power set is actually really dependent on that hammer thing that isn't attached to him.
But that hammer...
Why do you think the hammer got so pissed off towards the end of the movie?
That hammer is really good at healing. It will travel from Earth to some random planet and not take any shortcut. It will just fly straight to him.
Yes, as the crow
How many
flies
times did
through
it turn around
interstellar
in
space.
London trying
God,
to get back to him?
During the big climactic scene, and this was really poorly explained.
By the way, spoilers happen.
I'm pretty sure they know that.
They're
from the previous
essentially
ones.
reality because all the 9 realms are coming together. Reality is freaking out. You can there's anti-gravity zones. There's teleportation fields that take you all over the place. There was some experimentation with this in the beginning, but essentially the climax takes really liberal usage of this to have them teleport all over the battlefield into different planets and back, and some jets get mixed in. And so Thor gets separated from his hammer, and he keeps teleporting around, and the hammer does not know to go through the teleportation fields and just tries to fly directly towards his location on some alternate plane of existence planet.
And it actually stops at one point and turns back around. If this hammer could talk, it'd be like, God damn it, hold still.
Recalculating.
Yeah.
Same as Eternal GPS.
Let's bring up the main villain of this movie, Malakath, the leader of the Dark Elves, played by Christopher Eccleston, the Ninth Doctor.
I don't...
You never would have known that without the cast listing.
You mean the credits?
That's same thing. Shut up. The Doctor.
I guess you could say that the makeup and
Really hit him.
makeup and
God.
prosthetics was well done in this film.
Definitely. We're talking like way better than anything you see on Star Trek. What? You not a fan of Star Trek?
Nope.
Well,
Well, actually, I can't say I'm not. I've never watched Star Trek.
then what the hell?
We should bring Benedict Cumberbatch into the Marvel universe.
Oh my God, the collective nerdgasm would be unstoppable, man.
He would always
Relatively certain the theater would explode if that happened.
he would have to play some sort of evil guy.
You know, they keep casting him as bad guys. Why do they keep doing
It's
that?
because he's such a good bad guy. In fact, the way he plays Sherlock is such kind of dark,
high
and
functioning
brooding.
sociopath.
Well, he's a dark and brooding kind of character, rather than, and this is a direct opposite of the way Robert Downey Jr. plays Sherlock.
Well, I don't consider those real Sherlock Holmes movies. They've just got the name plastered on them. They're action flicks.
I mean,
They're good action flicks.
Sure.
Fine. I can't argue with someone who hasn't seen the actual TV shows. So, okay, we keep getting sidetracked because Thor is just kind of an enjoyably silly action movie. I guess if I had to make a comparison, I would say it's more fun to sit through this than, say, the Dark Knight movies, because these movies have a sense of humor about them. I love the moment where Thor visits their little apartment and hangs his hammer
On the coat rack.
Yeah, on the coat rack.
Shouldn't the entire wall
Yeah, I
just
was
collapse
totally
right there?
expecting that to happen, but no, it just sits there.
They did
It's like, stay here and don't do anything.
They did the little things in the movie really well. Like the main part of the movie, the plot, all that.
Yeah, it was
You know,
fine.
that was okay, but all the little things were great.
Just the little moments that make you smile, like Thor getting on the train is like, how do I get to Greenwich? This train, 3 stops.
Nobody says a thing about the guy who's got cuts all over
Yeah,
him in some
no.
giant-ass armor.
It's like, oh, hi Thor, you saved New York about a year ago.
I guess that's also one of the things that makes the Marvel movies, such as the Avengers, enjoyable to watch in the theater. Is that you have the people around you laughing, which can help break tension, and the infamous "I'm bringing the party to you" scene with Iron Man, and then so I guess they strive for that in this movie compared to the Batman movies.
The Batman movie, they're good movies, but they're very self-serious. They don't allow themselves a moment of levity, really. I guess the best moments of levity are when Batman disappears and people are like, oh god damn it, he did it again.
Well, that's them. I would like to say that's mostly them trying to actually stay true to the character itself.
Yeah, but let's be fair. The premise of all costume superheroes is silly.
And that's the problem that Thor has, is that I was a fan of the original mythology, and
Like the actual Norse gods.
yeah, and I feel that this is kind of the way they've set up Thor is really well done, but the problem is that they're limited by the fact that it's part of the Marvel universe. I guess I'm not really a comic book person, but
Are any of us really big in comic nerds? No? Okay.
I feel
We all exist on the fringes of comic nerdness.
so. I feel comic book fans would probably love this movie, and I think that with Loki, he never was really evil. He was self-centered, but he
He
evil.
was the god of pranks.
And in this, in I feel in the Marvel universe, he's truly evil because he has to be.
Because they need a villain, yeah.
Yeah, and
That mirror's distracting.
and Odin and Thor. Odin and Thor were not, like paragons of good either.
No,
They
I mean
were-
they were members of the old guard of gods, like Roman gods.
Well,
gods who
in
They were
the
hang
actual-
jerks.
around
They were
with
jerks.
Well, in actual mythology, all gods are jerks.
people. I
Exactly,
see
and
that,
that's the
but you
thing.
see, following the birth of the New Testament, the idea of the merciful God came around, which is a direct contradiction to every other god prior to that.
So I mean, if with this budget and even just the same cast, if we could do an entire Thor series using the original mythos rather than using comic book mythos, I think it would be beautiful. But I guess Marvel movies are where the money is. And that's
Yeah.
where
But then
Oh,
I
God,
was
yes.
gonna say I don't think there'd be much money in that. But then they just made the Noah movie with Russell Crowe, so
Well,
Oh, God.
I mean, it's like the
It's not gonna be another Gladiator, is it?
no,
No.
it's about the story of Noah's Ark. Do you know that story?
how would you not know the story of Noah? I knew the story of
I
Noah's
know the
Ark.
story is Noah's Ark. Doesn't mean I like it.
Oh,
And I'm just saying, it's
okay.
like every movie I've seen with Russell Crowe, and it tends to feel like the same movie.
No, it's just Russell Crowe tends to feel like Russell
Are
Crowe.
So,
you not
Thor-
saved?
So
How about that
He-
awesome weapon that the king has?
You mean that thing he used on
Odin.
one guy?
Yeah.
Odin's
Wong.
spear.
Odin's spear, I cannot remember the name of the damn thing. I don't even think I can
I
pronounce
mean, there were
it.
no ravens either.
You know, that was one thing that
Yeah, what was up with the bird? I'm not sure I understood that.
it's
Well-
a mythology thing. For Odin.
Odin had his two ravens who would explore for him.
Oh,
And they showed up in the Avengers extremely briefly, just like a split second, but they weren't in this film.
You know, I was one thing that did bother me was the fact. Okay, it's clear that the Norse gods are not actually gods; they are aliens with super advanced technology and like 5,000 year lifespans. That it's established that that's essentially what they are. But what bugs me is the fact that they don't seem to really understand how their technology works. Like they have swords and shields. And these are all like laser swords, shields capable of blocking lasers, but then the Dark Elves come out with laser guns. And I'm just thinking to myself, why do the Norse not have laser guns? They clearly have the technology for it. They have anti-air cannons. So why are their soldiers carrying swords?
maybe it's a cultural thing. I mean, you heard Odin.
There's
I mean,
a
the
different-
Dark Elves were last seen in Odin's father's time.
Yeah, and they weren't using, and the Norse soldiers weren't using laser guns in that flashback either.
Maybe it's all a cultural thing. That's how they
See,
prefer
there's
to
a-
fight. I mean, it puts them at a disadvantage
Yes!
weaponry-wise.
So why would you do that?
I mean, there was the time when Oda Nobunaga was able to basically unify Japan because he decided to use guns, and all the other samurai were like, no, we're
It's
not gonna use
traditional
guns.
to use swords.
we're not going to use guns. We're going to use swords.
Then
And
guess what? They
happened?
got shot.
They got shot. They got shot because guns. You don't bring a sword to a gunfight.
I mean, you can.
Not
But
gonna
you're-
last long, but you can.
The famous scene in Indiana Jones.
Oh god. Yeah. Oh man, that scene was hilarious.
And I mean, there's even the scene where the Dark Elves with their laser guns
Pull out swords.
they kill an entire squad of the Asgardians,
And they're still just charging out of the shields.
and they have grenades too. They have these antimatter grenades.
No, I thought they were like black hole grenades,
Something
which
like
are
that.
awesome. Oh, there was that. Oh, the dark fire creature. The guy had to like use the stone thing to get his
The,
power
The
up.
cursed.
yeah, which
The cursed
with a
The
K.
cursed with a K.
With a K.
with a K because they were speaking in. Whatever-
Elvish.
Yeah,
Dark
dark,
Elvish.
future space Elvish. Dark future space Elvish. They were
So
speaking
basically gibberish.
that, yeah. I wonder if there was actually a pattern to that gibberish, or if they just told the actors to do whatever. Probably.
Most likely, what they usually try to do is they'll just try and mix words.
But
from
there
various
was that
languages.
cursed guy. He uses this stone thing to get like a massive power up, and he just wrecks so much crap after that point. And he was
Lights,
awesome,
just a straight up
but
light screen with
he
him there.
still only fought with his bare hands.
Well, he had that.
No, he pulled a
power
sword out
where
in
he,
like 2 seconds. To
But then he had the
drain energy.
belt of grenades, which is how he got killed eventually. Because Loki is, of course, really intelligent. You know, I will give the movie a lot of credit. I felt bad when, spoilers, Thor's mom died. I really did feel bad when that happened.
Oh, she went
I
out like a
don't-
boss, though.
I don't think we need to say spoilers anymore. They figured out that we are saying spoilers this whole time.
But I really did feel bad. Like, she kicked butt.
Oh, God, did she?
And,
We the Asgard!
it's like, in comes the head of the Dark Elves and is like, I'm totally gonna kick this woman's ass. And then she just starts slicing him up with her sword backhand style. Then in comes totally cheap-ass, dark, cursed guy. Kills her.
But it still I guess detracts from you still don't get enough, I guess, diversity with your heroes and your villains because she's, you know, Natalie Portman's character didn't do
Jack.
nothing, and
She almost brought about the end of the world
She
again.
became the MacGuffin. Like, the MacGuffin absorbed into her.
the MacGuffin.
Yeah, the Aether.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a plot device that drives the plot.
Okay.
Needlessly.
And so I mean, it essentially just boils down to Thor and whoever can do the one thing to help him at the time.
Yeah, Loki, they broke him out of jail because he knew how to get out of Asgard, and they're like, please show us how to get out of Asgard. Dad closed the door.
And it's like,
Dad has grounded me, Loki. Please help me save my girlfriend.
And I love that. It brings up my favorite part of the movie. If you betray me this time, brother, I will kill you. And each of Thor's friends, his other Asgard warriors, tell him the same thing. If you betray him, I'll kill it. If you betray him, you'll kill me. That seems to be a line for me.
Yeah,
I love Loki. His dialogue is just always fun.
He does get good one-liners. He wasn't as good in the first one, though. Like, he hadn't really settled into the character at all.
Still a good movie. Not as good as the second one, which is still surprising to me. The second
So-
one is never better than the first.
I guess we obviously recommend the movie. I don't think it's out on DVD yet, though, is it?
It will be shortly because
Shortly, but not yet.
the cheaper theaters are there as kind of
They're like the last run sample time.
yeah, the bridge.
Oh, we almost had an annoying green line right down the center of the film for the entire movie, but thankfully they fixed that.
For
Ultimately, we were going to decide between Thor: The Dark World or Catching Fire, but we decided on Thor just
Pretty
because.
much everyone except Jay has already seen Catching Fire, so
also a pretty good film.
none of us have seen The Dark World before today, so it came down to what have the fewest. I can't speak. Words have escaped me.
Drink some more Sobe with vodka in it.
I didn't have any Sobe with vodka today.
Let's not condone drinking on the internet.
Why not? It's not
Don't
they
drink
know it already.
Sobe with vodka. The Sobe is mine.
So I think though, as you mentioned Thor's mom getting killed. I feel like the whole funeral scene of that lasted longer than any of her other screen time appearances.
It really did.
Because
If she hadn't had that one line with Anthony Hopkins where she's like, if I hadn't worried over you, you would never have become a great king. If she hadn't had that one line, I would have known nothing about her as a person.
it was almost as if they had this huge build up for her, and then she died, and then now that we have this grand.
And I
funeral.
love that when she died, Loki down in the dungeons can just sense it, and he immediately trashes
No,
his entire
no,
set.
that
Balder.
the guard came and talked to him. Remember the one who we didn't hear talking?
I thought it was Balder because he was a pretty boy.
Well, someone informed him.
Yeah, he was.
Well,
told.
if you remember correctly, someone kept texting my phone, and I had to go to.
Why the hell would I remember that? I was watching the movie. You're
You
the
were
one-
sitting right next to me. It's kind of hard not to see the bright light right in your peripheral.
Yes, it was annoying.
So I may have missed that little
So
part.
obviously this guy is the one who texts in the movie theater.
So,
don't
if
watch
you-
the movie.
My phone's
Feel
still
free.
off.
Feel free to smack him if you happen to see him walking down the street. Just like
You come
that
at
is
me.
not how you watch movies.
Okay, in the street, yes. You come at me in a dark theater room like that, you will lose an arm. You, I will kill.
He said smack him if you see him. I see you. I smacked you. What's the
I will kill
problem?
you in your own house.
He said smack you if I see you. I see you.
Excuse me.
Let's have this off.
You're
have this off
excused.
screen.
You're excused. But one other thing, I heard a reviewer say that they really, really hated the intern character, like the girl intern.
They were
Darcy.
interns.
The girl intern.
They were there.
The intern who had an intern.
I wouldn't say I found her annoying, but she tended to have the last word of any scene she was involved with.
Both of those characters were just kind of there to be
There.
we need a person who
We need comic relief, because Natalie Portman is not the comic relief.
we need a person who's outside.
You're
the
really
combat
hating
scene.
on Portman.
I don't think she was right for this movie. She just didn't really feel like she was in.
But she was in
personally.
Star Wars, and this was another space movie, so obviously
Which Star Wars was she in again?
The prequels.
the first three,
All of them.
episode 1, 2, 3.
What was she, Padme as well?
Yes, she was Padme.
You know, I really hate those 3 movies, so I try not to pay attention to them.
Oh my god.
She was also in V for Vendetta.
Now that she was good in. That
I
she was
never
good
got to see that movie all the way through. I saw like half of it.
But
Thankfully,
I
it was
think
the
we
good
pretty
half.
much shared our bits. Chris, you got anything to add?
What happened to the ice monster after he bit the guy?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that thing just ran off and started rampaging around Greenwich.
I was expecting the after credit scene to deal with it, and it'd be like him, just kind of
Like, or the humans capturing him or something.
No, what happened?
No,
to
they
him?
teleport this monster into Greenwich because of the.
Wibbly-wobbly,
things.
timey-wimey
It literally shows up for like 1 second to reminisce Jurassic Park, bites down one of the bad guys, and
then
that's
just
all
wanders
we
off.
see. It walks off screen, chasing
into
the rest.
Greenwich.
We never see it again.
This ice monster is now wandering around England. And England is cold. It's not going to melt anytime soon. That's
literally
good catch there, Chris. Oh man, they really should do. The poor U.S. military. I think there was a line in S.H.I.E.L.D. where they said, "You've been making weapons with the Tesseract." It's like, look, these aliens came out of nowhere with technology that makes us look like ants. You bet your ass we're going to develop laser guns with their shit.
Hey, it worked, didn't it?
It did work.
It's kind of why they should have. They shouldn't have teleported that giant spaceship at the end away. They should have.
Oh, that was just plot convenience, I thought.
Should have just kept it.
Yeah. Keep it and develop the technology. Or, you know what? Maybe that's why they teleported it out.
So
Because they are maintaining continuity in these movies.
Yeah.
And you bet your ass Captain America would be in trouble if the enemies suddenly all had laser guns again.
Well, and you remember it was Dr. Selvig that teleported it away.
I think
He got controlled by the
there's-
Tesseract. He's
there's
tired of that
actually-
shit more than Earth is tired of being invaded.
There's actually, I think, maybe a comic where it's about the people who are in charge of cleanup after these giant Earth-saving moments where they.
God.
It's a company that rebuilds buildings and takes away alien corpses.
Nope.
God, they get a lot of business.
God, nope. I would quit on the first day after the very second I saw what my job
You know
was
what,
supposed to be.
that's actually an interesting storytelling mechanic, though. Because, you get to hear about all these cool alien battles and invasions from the point of view of the guy who has to clean up the mess. So it's like, and how the hell did the corpse end up hanging from the chandelier? Well, Thor smacked it. Alright, you just had to say Thor.
It's kind of like it's kind of like, I guess I keep going back to Avengers, when they had all these alien bodies to deal with.
Yeah. Oh god. Ooh,
Because
alien bacteria.
when their ship was shut down, they just all suddenly dropped dead or something.
Actually, how many men did he have? Was that really it? Because that was a big battlecruiser for him to have maybe 50 guys on it. That's about all we saw of the Dark Elves. I mean, yeah, they were a dead race. There weren't many of them left, but 50?
It seemed like all of their spaceships had very little cabin room.
Yeah, it really. Oh, their spaceships.
They seemed more like dropships.
Their
than anything.
spaceships seemed really impractical. They were like these really long stick things, but then they used the long ends as swords attached to their ship, which
like
was
crash
kind
into
of.
shit.
But it was kind of cool. But the whole time I'm just thinking, this is not practical.
Congratulations,
They were-
Thor. You just decapitated
They
your
were-
grandfather.
They were huge. They were huge ships that maybe had space for 4 people.
5 people on them,
Cramped, and heck, even when Thor and Loki tried driving one out of Asgard, it seemed as if
It was really hard to not run into shit.
they didn't have that much room. Yeah.
All right. I guess we're good then. Thank you
Recommend the movie.
Thank you for joining us. Bye.